Gaurav, what are we making of these very first few remarks that's been exchanged at this given point? And with specific focus, I would want to say with the fact that she's saying that China is needed by the United States at this given point to make America great again. And I think that is something which the US has slowly begun to realize, would you say, given the economic situation and some of the discussions we were having previously, be it the semiconductor chips, be it the soybean deal, be it the tariffs at this point?
Very significant statement being made both by the Chinese President Xi Jinping and the American President Donald Trump, both to create that very right atmosphere, the right environment for dialogue that is set to begin. It's begun in the right perspective from both their points of view. Chinese development goes hand in hand to make America great again. That's the point that Chinese President Xi Jinping is making. Also saying we can help each other grow and both should be partners in growth. I'm ready to work with you to build a solid foundation of that China-US relationship. So something that that the cost in the United States initially is off, but something that Chinese leadership is taking forward, the G2 format. And once again, example of the G2 format that President Xi Jinping tried to was Cambodia, Thailand peace. He said he played a role in those peace talks. China too played a role in that. He of course spoke of Gaza and peace in Gaza and efforts to bring in Gaza. This is where he said the two countries can operate. So he's creating the right environment. President Trump wants to be in one as a deal maker, two as a man of peace. He may not see in these two instances. Gaza is bleeding very heavily. There have been more than 100 fatalities in Israeli attacks in the past 40 hours. But there is peace in Cambodia and Thailand. So there is some forward. He's crediting Trump with that. At the saying we together can do that. Perhaps the indicators, let's move together, accommodate others, and move forward on that D2 format. We'll actually have to wait for the outcome.
Absolutely, Gaurav. Geeta, before I come back to you, let me just quickly take our viewers through this short excerpt of what's been said by the leaders at this point before we continue the discussion.
Good to meet you. Great pleasure to see you again. Good to see you again.
Viewers, this is the very visual that we're speaking of, and we'll quickly take you through what exactly has been said by both the leaders during their very first meeting right ahead of the official deal-making meeting that's going to take place. We don't know whether there's a deal that's going to come out of it as a permanent outcome today. But yes, it definitely seems to be the start of maybe a new milestone in this US-China relationship that we have, in fact, not seen spiraling towards the downward trajectory over the last 6 years or more. But yes, the last time the two leaders had met was during President Trump's first term in 2019.
Well, thank you very much. It's a great honor to be with a friend of mine, really for a long time now, if you think about it. The very, very distinguished and respected President of China. And we will be having some discussions. I think we've already agreed to a lot of things, and we'll agree to some more right now. But President Xi is a great leader of a great country. And I think we're going to have a fantastic relationship for a long period of time. And it's an honor to have you with us. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Good to see you again. Me too.
And we're going to have a very successful meeting, I have no doubt. But he's a very tough negotiator. That's not good. We know each other well.
Mr. President, do you plan to sign a trade deal today?
Could be. I think we'll have a great understanding. We have a great relationship. We've always had a great relationship.
Mr. President, why did you change your nuclear plans? Why are you going to be doing more nuclear testing?
Thank you very much, everybody. Appreciate it. Thank you.
President Trump, it is a great pleasure for me as well to meet you. And it feels very warm seeing you again because it's been many years. Since your re-election, we have spoken on the phone 3 times, exchanged several letters, and stayed in close contact. And our joint guidance, China-US relations have remained stable on the whole. Given our different national conditions, we do not always see eye to eye with each other. And it is normal for the 2 leading economies of the world to have frictions now and then. And in the face of winds, waves, and challenges, you and I, at the helm of China-US relations, should stay the right course and ensure the steady sailing forward of the giant ship of China-US relations. I always believe that China's development goes hand in hand with your vision to make America great again. Our 2 countries are fully able to help each other succeed and prosper together. Over the years, I have stated in public many times that China and the United States should be partners and friends. This is what history has taught us and what reality demands. A few days ago, in the latest round of consultation, our 2 economic and trade teams reached basic consensus on addressing our respective major concerns and made encouraging progress. This provided the necessary conditions for our meeting today. Mr. President, I am ready to continue working with you to build a solid foundation for China-US relations and create a sound atmosphere for the development of both countries. Mr. President, you care a lot about world peace, and you are very enthusiastic about settling various regional hotspot issues. I appreciate your great contribution to the recent conclusion of the Gaza ceasefire agreement. During your visit to Malaysia, you witnessed the signing of the Joint Declaration on Peace along the Cambodia-Thailand border, to which you had provided input. China has been helping in our own way Cambodia and Thailand properly settle their border disputes, and we have also been promoting peace talks to resolve other hotspot issues. The world today is confronted with many tough problems. China and the U.S. can jointly shoulder our responsibility as major countries and work together to accomplish more great and concrete things for the good of our 2 countries and the whole world. I look forward to exchanging views with you on questions important for our 2 countries and the world.
So, well, quite a few important comments and remarks that's been made. Another important part of the very remarks that's been shared, or the interaction that both the leaders had briefly right ahead of the meeting, is the fact that Xi Jinping, at the very onset of it, has said that it's not necessary that we both meet eye to eye on everything. Friction lies between the 2 of our nations, and that is a known fact. Setting this as also one of the tones right ahead of the meeting, how are we looking at this very comment? Geeta, I would want to bring your insights in here.
A very important one. In fact, it is President Xi Jinping's comments that are significant. He talks about major concerns. He gives the importance to Donald Trump when it comes to peacemaking. There is something that was needed and important. It is not about optics. It's also about what Trump wants to hear. And in this case, they ensure that they have some things there in place in the statement that will bring about a positive momentum and a positive reaction from Donald Trump, and which is what is happening. He did talk about differences. He did talk about discussing major concerns to do with not just America, but also to do with China, which will include areas of ensuring that one China policy is not just adhered to, honored and respected as well. But mention of Gaza and mention of Thailand and Cambodia, where China has also had a role to play, are very important statements that are coming out and finally saying that the two countries have a responsibility, a joint responsibility to shoulder these issues jointly, and that's what the two countries are looking at. So one superpower talking to another superpower, so to say, and vice versa over here. These are two countries that have made a huge impact in their respective regions. They have their own axis. They have countries that they align with, and that now the other really needs engaging with. In this case, US, Russia. For China, it has always been the fact that they need to honor China's concerns in the Taiwan Strait, particularly to do with Taiwan. So important statements that have been made. He's talked about how the two leaders and countries have not seen eye to eye on many things, and that is normal, but that both countries should be partner and friends. It is important at this juncture. So a fairly decent start, but will that end up and culminate into a deal of any sort is something we'll have to wait and see. Certainly a framework is what we're looking at this juncture.